I find that when I'm brushing my teeth, I get some of the greatest insights into my life. And this morning was one of those mornings. You see, I have not provided you with a video or a blog or anything in quite some time. And it occurred to me today why that is and how it relates to this whole journey of emotional eating and body image, because it has a huge impact. You see, about the middle of January, I discovered an abnormality with my breast, and it freaked me out. Now, I contacted the right people at the right time, and it's being investigated. I've had a mammogram and I've had an ultrasound, and next on the docket would be an MRI. And thus far, we don't know what the problem is. Now, please know that I'm not sharing this because I would like your assistance in terms of figuring this out. What I would like to share with you is my morning brushing my teeth insight into all of this. See, shame and embarrassment and hiding have been part of my story from as long as I can remember. For this Easter weekend, I shared a post, a picture of me when I was, probably 6 years old, dressed as a bunny. Right from that age, I have felt quite self-conscious and ashamed, especially with my relationship to food, because I always wanted more than what I was allowed to have, and felt like I was being really bad if I went for it. So how does that relate to this breast stuff? Well, what's happening right now is I'm scared, and I'm feeling really vulnerable. And as much as I've shared with a few select people, my most inner circle knows about what's going on, I haven't actually shared with them how I'm feeling. I have been trying to not feel because it's scary and it's uncomfortable. A little bit like it is with food, and in the past I would have used food to cope. I would have soothed with food. Now, how I've been doing that this time, if I'm honest, I probably have used food a little bit more, but I've not been binging, I've not been overeating, I've not been going crazy, but I have been hiding. And as opposed to eating, I've been distracting through being busy, or the complete opposite of just curling up and watching TV or reading an entire book in a day. So even though I'm not burying myself in the food, I am hiding. Because I have been able to tell people what's going on, but again, I've not been sharing my feelings. And what's really, really neat is with my rebels who have been a part of my program, we have a book club that meets once a month. And this week we are talking about the chapters of emotional eating and how it pertains to all of this in our body image and all that kind of stuff. So I'm rambling a wee bit, so let me bring it back to what's been going on and what led to this morning aha today. I have been feeling overwhelmingly self-conscious of my body. When I pass a mirror, I am aghast at how large I look in the mirror. Now, I learned a long time ago during my process that what I see in the mirror is not, in fact, reality. What I see in the mirror generally is reflecting how I'm feeling about my life and everything that's going on in it. And it is not actually about the body that's there. Because the body that's there is just a vessel for me to live my life. And when I'm happy and content, it's really easy for me to see the parts of my body that are lovely and to not give any credence or attention to the parts that have changed. Whoops, squirrel, sorry. Woo! Talk about, that movie, The Dog, Up, Squirrel! Yeah, that was totally a squirrel moment. Good God. Okay, carrying on. So, I don't even know where I was. But anyways, I've been feeling really, really self-conscious with my body. And I've been hyper aware of my food and what my brain is telling me versus what my body is telling me. Now, thankfully, this is from all the work I've done with intuitive eating and everything I've done with the Diet Rebellion, in that I become aware very quickly when my brain is asking me for foods that my body is saying, no thank you. There are foods that I know don't feel good in my body, and yet they are comfort foods to me. And as a result, when I'm feeling vulnerable and scared, of course I want comfort foods. Who wouldn't? But they're not going to make me feel better. They're not going to serve me. So I might give in a little bit at first to those comfort foods because, why not? And eating them in small amounts and reasonable amounts and bodies my body will take, it all works. But it was the incessant, usually comfort foods show up and then they go. I have whatever it is I'm looking for and it goes. It's that it hasn't been going that has been really daunting. And yet, it took me until this morning, brushing my teeth, to go, oh, that's what this is. I have yet to actually, vulnerably and truly from my heart say, I'm really scared. I'm scared because I don't know what's going on in my body right now and I don't have any control over it. And I can think of all the times in my life when I've struggled with food when that has been the case. Something in my life has been happening that I don't feel like I have control over, whether it be exams at school or whether it be a relationship or a conversation or something going on at work, who knows what, right? So this is me stepping back into the light because I realized I was hiding in the dark. And that is one of the very, very first steps of getting out of shame and embarrassment and bad cycles, is acknowledging it and stepping up and saying, here's what's going on and I'm scared. Now, do I have to do that to you, for you? No, I easily could have done this with a counselor, a mentor, a good friend. But I feel like you deserve to see this side of me, to know that this is why I haven't been speaking to you through blogs and videos in the last couple months. And this is my commitment to you, that I will begin to share again. And it might not be perfect. I might have some slip-ups because, when you're scared, your brain doesn't always work as well as you'd like it to. And I will continue to talk about all the different things that go on with food and body image, what's going on in the world. Thank you for following me. Thank you for spending time with me. And thank you for being here for me.